Welcome to the Northern Light Webcasting Network. We bring you Western Wisconsin sports via the internet. Stick around and get to know us.
Northern Light Webcasting Network, in conjunction with Colfax High School, presents Viking Pregame. A look at today's Colfax Viking girls game. And now, Viking Pregame.
Good evening and welcome to Colfax High School, where tonight we have a Dunn-St. Croix Conference matchup for you as the Colfax Viking girls, with a record of 5 wins and no losses in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference, will take on the Boyceville Bulldogs, who are 1-4 in conference play. Rick Olson here, and soon I'll be joined by Dan Petchow as we're getting ready to bring you all of the play-by-play action of tonight's game right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Boyceville Bulldogs and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Doucette's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time for some high school girls basketball as they do battle in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're listening to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Did you know that some vaccines prevent cancer? I'm Dr. Bill Schaffner of the National Foundation for Infectious Diseases, and I want to talk to you about a vaccine that protects against the most common cause of liver cancer, the hepatitis B vaccine. Hepatitis B virus can stay silent in the body for decades before symptoms develop. Many adults need vaccination, including those up to age 59 with diabetes. To learn more, visit adultvaccination.org. That's adultvaccination.org.
Rick Olson back here at Colfax High School, where Dan Petchow and I are getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's girls' conference basketball game between the Boyceville Bulldogs, with a record of 1-4 in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference, and the conference-leading Colfax Vikings, who have a 5-0 conference record and 9-2 overall. Last Monday, the Vikings established clear leadership in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference as they took on the previously undefeated in the conference Durand Panthers. The Vikings proceeded to knock the Panthers from the rolls of the undefeated with a 58-38 victory. The Vikings were led in scoring by senior forward Camry Meredith, who scored 17 points. In addition to Meredith, the other leading scorers were seniors Rachel Charlo, who tallied 15 points, and senior guard Morgan Schleisner, who added 10. At 11 games into the season, the leading scorers for the Vikings are Meredith, who's averaging 15.5 points per game, Charlo, who's averaging 12.4, and Taylor Irwin, who's contributing 7.3 points per game. Also helping lead the way for the Vikings are Madison Barstead and Morgan Schleisner, who are averaging 3.6 points per game. The top rebounders for the Vikings are Meredith with 9.5 boards per game, and Charlo adds nearly 8 per game. Boyceville comes into tonight's game with an overall record of 3 wins and 6 losses, 1-4 in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference, following their 56-33 victory over Spring Valley last Thursday. Unfortunately, we don't have any scoring results from that game. However, the wins that Boyceville garnered were over Turtle Lake on November 25th and Cumberland on January 2nd before defeating Spring Valley last Thursday. At 7 games into the season, that's the most recent stats we have for the Bulldogs, the leading scorers for the Bulldogs were senior Tyra Kostman, who was averaging nearly 10 points per game. Right behind her were junior Caddy Gambro, who's averaging just over 7 points per game, and senior Emma Willette, who's adding just over 6 points per game. The Bulldogs feel as though they are just a few points away from being a contender in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference, as they lost 2 of their conference games by a total of 6 points, which would have given them a winning record in the conference. While the Vikings are unbeaten in conference play, as well as the defending conference champions. So we're looking forward to quite a battle with some exciting girls high school basketball. And we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. But first, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective when we chat with Viking head coach Joe Doucette on Coach's Corner. You're listening to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Today we're talking with Viking girls head coach Joe Doucette. And coach, now you're alone atop the Dunn St. Croix Conference after convincingly defeating the previously unbeaten in the conference Durand Panthers. Your quick comments about that game?
Yeah, probably the best we played, Rick. I think we were into it. We knew what was at stake, and it feels good. But again, we talked about after the game that it's a big win if we can build on it. If we can take it and grow from it. And we haven't won anything yet, so it's very tempered. But I was super excited to see us play very, very well. I think we've played well throughout the year, but that might have been our best game all year.
Now, tonight you get a chance to build on it. You're playing the Boyceville Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs, even though they're off to a bit of a rough start this season, they've historically been a pretty big rival for the Vikings. What can you tell us about facing the Boyceville Bulldogs?
Well, Coach Peart, I got a ton of respect for her. They've had tremendous success. It's been a while yet, but been a great rivalry. I mean, I remember some of the big games with them, and not always the best team wins. So, we can't ever. We're going to try to take them one at a time and respect them. And every time we win, we're in first place. So we're going to go, guns blazing to get a win.
Now, that brings up this could possibly be, and maybe does it worry you at all that it could possibly be a trap game after the Vikings played those two really tough opponents last week, and then you come in here to Boyceville that although they're a rival, their record isn't as good as the others, and maybe the girls might say, yeah, we can mail this one in, and
yeah, that's always a worry. I think that's the common way of thinking about it at any level, whether whatever level, NBA, Division I college. But I think we've talked about this too. I think we have so much experience and we have so many kids that I think we can find some kids that can play tomorrow night. So
now is everybody healthy and ready to go?
Everybody's healthy and ready to go.
Well, Coach Doucette, after the Durand game, and then you again repeated it today, you said that it didn't matter if you didn't build on it. So may the building begin tonight and bump that conference record up to 6-0.
Thanks, Rick.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Sweet strawberry icing. You're in Goodwill, and just past that vintage denim jacket you spot miniature donut earrings. You lean in. That's the scent of shopping success. Because at Goodwill, every item you buy funds local job training and more. So bring home those donut earrings and bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
You've been listening to Viking Pregame, with a look at today's Colfax Viking girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
Hi, I'm Amanda Pete. Like all new parents, my husband and I want what's best for our baby. When it was time for our daughter's immunizations, we wanted the facts. So we carefully researched vaccines. We spoke with doctors and other experts and asked some tough questions. We decided that vaccines were the best thing for our child. I urge you to get the facts. Learn the facts about vaccines so you can make the best healthcare decisions for your family. Thank you.
A message from the American Academy of Pediatrics and vaccinateyourbaby.org.
Man, I love my kids so much. I once sat for 3 hours in the cold rain to watch her soccer team lose by 18 goals.
I love my kids so much, I once used a tube to suck snot out of her stuffed nose at 3 a.m.
You win.
Love your kids? Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat. From toddlers to tweens, visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to find the right seat for their age and size. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Colfax Viking basketball is on the air. The Northern Light Webcasting Network, in conjunction with Colfax High School, proudly presents today's Girls Colfax Viking game. Join us as the 2019-2020 Vikings strive for success in the Dunn St. Croix Conference. And now, back out for coverage of today's Girls Colfax Vikings game.
Oh, say, can you see my dawn's early light? What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And Drew Gibson with a nice version of the national anthem. And they're getting ready to do the starting lineups for tonight's game. Vikings taking on the Boyceville Bulldogs in a game that, honestly, Dan, could be a trap game for the Vikings if they don't come out from the get-go.
Yeah, they had a great game against Durand, and now they have to stay on top of it here and try to get over top of Boyceville.
And so they're doing the starting lineups. They just introduced Emma Olette, and let's listen to the rest of them.
And now, starting lineup here with Colfax
And so those starters once again for the Boyceville Bulldogs: Emma Olette, Megan Hintzman, Katie Grambo, Tyra Kosman, and Anna Evenson. For the Vikings: Morgan Schleisner, Jana Bovey, Camry Meredith, Josie Steinke, and Rachel Charlo. And we are waiting for the Vikings to come out on the floor. Bulldogs just came out. And I'm hoping my voice holds up through this thing. That trip over to Lambeau Field Sunday involved an awful lot of cheering. And so hoping the voice holds together. We've got, let's see, Grambo jumping against Charlo, and Charlo tips it back to Bovey. To Schleisner between the circles. Over to Charlo. Over to Steinke on the left side. Back out between the circles to Schleisner. To Charlo, back out to Schleisner. Schleisner directing traffic. Now she dribbles it over to the left. To Meredith. Over to Charlo at the free throw line. Down to Bovey back out to Steinke. Three-pointer from the right side, no good. Rebound taken down by Bovey. Bovey out to Schleissner. Schleissner between the circles, over to Meredith. Back to Schleissner. To Charlo at the free throw line, puts up a jumper, no good. Rebound taken down by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs moving from right to left on your listening device dial. Evenson with it on the left side. Gets it out high to Kostman. And it's over to Grambo. Out high to Hintzman. To Kostman. To Evenson. Over on the right side now to Hintzman. She gets it over to Grambo, who feeds it to Olette. Now over to Grambo. Puts up a shot, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Bassett gets away from the Vikings and it rolls out of bounds. That's going to be Boyceville ball. Looked like they were a little lax on making sure of their pass before they threw it, and it got away from them. Bulldogs have it in the forecourt. Hintzman over to Grambo. Grambo back out to Olette. Over to Evenson. Evenson out high to Hintzman. To Olette on the near side. Underneath Evenson, back out to Olette. To Grambo. Over to Hintzman. To Evenson. Looking to feed it in the lane, and the layup shot is good by Katie Grambo.
Patience by Boyceville to get the first 2 points.
2-0, Bulldogs on top of the Vikings. Meredith has it for the Vikings. To Steinke. Out to Schleissner, back to Meredith. To Charlotte. To Steinke, puts up a three, and it's good. Josie Steinke with a three-pointer for the Vikings, and they're on top 3-2. And the Bulldogs bring it down. Olette has it, having trouble in the backcourt, and we got a whistle and a foul on Meredith. That's Meredith's first personal, first team foul on the Vikings. Bulldogs clad in their purple road uniforms. Inbound it. Olette brings it down and now feeds it off. That's to Grambo. She's between the circles. Over to Evenson on the left side. High, wide, and left. To Olette, out between the circles. Over to the right side to Grambo. Grambo looking for somewhere to go. Gets it to Olette in the lane. Kicks it out to Kostman. Puts up a shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Schleissner, and she brings it quickly down the floor. To Steinke, feeds it underneath to Charlo. Puts up a shot, whistle, and a foul. Charlo's shot is no good. And the foul is on Grambo. It's her first personal and first team foul on the Bulldogs. Charlo's first shot is off the front of the iron, no good. 3-2, Vikings on top, 14:51 to go in the first half. Second shot on the way, it's in. 4-2, Vikings on top.
More full court pressure by Colfax.
Olette brings it down the floor for Boyceville, and now she crosses the timeline. Feeds it over to Hintzman. To Grambo, over to Olette on the right, or on the left, check that. And the pass into the lane gets batted away, and Bovey has it. Stops from three, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Bulldogs. Quickly down the floor comes Grambo. Feeds it to Hintzman, puts up a shot, no good. Chases down her own rebound, puts it up, no, and Meredith gets the rebound. That shot was partially blocked. Schleissner with it on the right side for the Vikings. Feeds it into the lane to Charlotte. Back out Schleissner from three. Puts it up, no, off the iron. And the ball gets knocked out of bounds by the Vikings.
Both teams just a little off here. It's just first few minutes, but
into the lineup for the Bulldogs is Jensine Basil. Inbound pass, again gets knocked out of bounds by Schleisner. Kosman to inbound it again. Vikings putting on full court pressure again. Kosman looking for somewhere to go. Finally gets it into Ouellette, but the ball is loose and gets stolen by the Vikings. Steinke with it, feeds it into the lane, and the pass to Meredith gets intercepted by the Bulldogs. Ouellette with it across the timeline. Guarded closely by Schleisner. Now she comes around the right side. Feeds it across the right baseline, but it goes out of bounds, and it'll be Viking ball. Meredith to inbound. A couple of substitutes for the Vikings. Steinke and Bovey are out. And Addy and Addison both came in. Barstead also came into the lineup. For Schleisner, Addy brings it down the floor, feeds it over to Addison on the right side, high, wide, and right. Cross-court pass, tries to get it to Charlo on the back door, and it just didn't quite get there. Bulldogs bring it down the floor. Grambo with it. They get it out to Basil. Now to Grambo, puts up a three, in and out, no. Charlo with the rebound, gets it to Addy, and they come down the floor. Addy feeds it over to the left wing. Long shot by Meredith is no good. Rebound chased down by Charlo. Gets it out to Addy over to Meredith from the free throw line. No good. Rebound put back up and in by Charlo. 6-2, Vikings on top. Coming down the floor is Lagerstrom for the Bulldogs, but loses the handle. And then Meredith lost the handle, and the Vikings get the ball. Addy brings it down the floor. Takes it over to the right side, free throw line extended right. Over to Meredith, back to Addy, to Charlo, out to Addison from three on the left side. She hit it. Addison Olsen with a three-pointer from the left side. 9-2, Vikings on top. 12-13 remaining. Coming down the floor is Grambo. Gets it to Ouellette. Ouellette across the timeline. Now she's dribbling in circles between the circles. She feeds it over to Kosman. Back out to Grambo. And we have a timeout called. Timeout on the floor with 11:58 to go in the first half. Vikings 9, Boyceville Bulldogs 2. And you're listening to Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Oh no.
If your car has had an oh no experience, whether it's from a deer, another vehicle, or any other cause, be sure to see the hardworking people at Morgan's Auto Body in Colfax. Mike Morgan and his staff are ready to get your car right again. The staff at Morgan's Auto Body are ASE and iCar certified technicians, and they can get your car looking like new. That's Morgan's Auto Body in Colfax. Call them at 715-962-3559. And with the snow that's predicted for this week, Mike Morgan might get kind of busy.
Yep. It's going to be a snowy week here in Wisconsin.
All right, the Bulldogs getting ready to inbound it. We've got Lagerstrom inbounding the ball. She gets it to Ouellette, back to Lagerstrom on the left side. Out high to Hintzman. Hintzman takes it down the right side. From the right corner is Grambo. She puts up a shot. It's no good, but it's off of Addy and goes out of bounds. So Boyceville will have it. Ouellette to inbound. Feeds it in the lane to Basil, and Basil puts up a jumper, and it's good. 9-4, Bulldogs trailing the Vikings. Addy takes it down the floor. Gets it to Maddie Barstead. Back out to Addy. Cross over to Addison. To Maddie on the left side now. Cross-court pass out high to Charlo, and Charlo feeds it into the lane, and Meredith can't quite hang on to it, and the Bulldogs have it. They come down the floor, and it's Ouellette. Feeding it over to the left side to Hintzman. Hintzman back out high to Grambo. To Ouellette on the right. Ouellette with it. On the dribble. She picks up the dribble now. Looking for somewhere to go. And we have a 5-second call. Close guarding call And Olette couldn't find anywhere to go with it, and the Vikings forced the turnover.
Good defense by Colfax. Gets a couple turnovers here early.
Addy with it across the timeline and down the right side. Feeds it down into the right corner to Barstead. Back out to Addy, to Meredith between the circles. To Addy on the right, to Barstead in the corner. Barstead back out to Addy, to Meredith, to Addison on the left. Back out high to Charlo. Charlo over to Addy on the right. To Barstead in the right corner. Back out to Addy on the right side. Back out between the circles to Meredith. Back to Addy. To Barstead from the corner. Puts it up. Rattles around. No, it does not go in. Coming down the floor is Lagerstrom. Addison almost got the pick of the pocket that time. But Lagerstrom maintained control. Now the Bulldogs have it down in the right corner. Pass into the lane, gets knocked away and taken away by Charlo. Gets it to Addy. Feeds down into the lane to Meredith, who lays it up and in. Meredith was all alone down under the basket, and Addy fed it to her.
Boyceville got caught sleeping there.
11-4, Vikings on top. Olette brought it down the floor, gets it fed into the inside to Hintzman. We have a whistle and a foul. And it's on Charlo. That's Charlo's first personal, second team foul on the Vikings. Inbounding is Olette. She gets it into Hintzman. Her shot goes off the iron, no good. Barstead gets the rebound. Looking for somewhere to go. He tries to get it to Meredith, and the ball gets intercepted by Hintzman. Puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Addy. And
ball touched the line
after it was touched by the Vikings. So Boyceville has the ball. Olette to inbound it under the basket. Gets it out to Olette. And then out, back out. Or to check that. At any rate, Hintzman has it. Now Olette has it. Long three from the right side is off the back of the iron. No, and the rebound taken down by Meredith. Meredith cross-court pass, and it went between Addy and Addison, and the Olsen girls couldn't decide who was supposed to get it.
Yeah, Colfax is just a little bit out of sorts right now.
Not real clean passes right now.
Right, Boyceville's playing a 1-2-2 right now, and they're triple teaming Charlo inside. That's where Colfax wants to go, and it's kind of throwing them off right now, but I'm sure Coach Giussette will make an adjustment here.
All right, Boyceville has the ball. They're about to inbound it. They get it into Lagerstrom, who brings it down the floor. Lagerstrom over to the near side to Evenson. Evenson takes it out between the circles to Grambo. To Lagerstrom. Over to Hillman. Back to Grambo. To Evenson. To Hillman on the right. She gets it out to Lagerstrom. To Evenson. Over to Grambo. Now over on the right side to Lagerstrom. And we have a whistle and a travel was called. Tight defense by the Vikings, forcing another turnover. Addy to bring it down the floor. Over to the right side to Barstead, or left side, check that. To Wilson, in the lane, back out to Barstead. She tries to drive down, and we have a whistle and a foul on the floor. And the foul is on Katie Grambo. That's her second personal, second team foul on the Bulldogs. Addison to inbound it, gets it out to Barstead. Now it comes over to Harmon, to Addy from three, no. Rebound got between Harmon's legs and she couldn't find the ball, and Boyceville came away with it. Coming down the floor is Grambo. She's directing traffic as she gets across the timeline. Picked up there by Addison. Grambo takes it down the left side. Feeds it out to Evenson. Now into the lane to Hillman. Hillman takes it out to the right side. Cross court pass to Grambo. Grambo puts up the shot. No. Rebound being chased down. And Wilson with the rebound gets it over to Addy and gets knocked away by Boyceville. They put up a shot. No good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. And long pass down to Harmon, who laid it up and in. Marissa Harmon with 2. Grambo with it. 13-4, Vikings on top. She gets it over to Lagerstrom, who brings it over to the left side. Lagerstrom tries to feed it into the lane. We have a whistle and a foul. And the foul's on Addison, I believe. Yes, foul's on Addison. It's her first personal. 3rd team foul. Oh, no, check that. It's not Addison. I had the numbers backwards. It's Barstead who had the foul, but it's her first personal, 3rd team foul. Bulldogs inbound it to Evenson, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound, put back up by the Bulldogs, and it was by Basil. We have a whistle and a foul. The shot did not go in. And I think it's on Barstead again. Nope. I take it back. It's hard to read the official's fingers.
Yeah, number 32.
Seville Wilson on the foul. First personal, 4th team foul. And the first shot by Basil is no good, and we have a hockey line change going on for the Vikings. 5 for 5.
Yeah, they're just still trying to get his lines figured out or his players figured out.
Basil's second shot is on the way, and it's good. 13-5, Vikings ahead. Schleisner brings it down across the timeline, stops from the top of the key, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound tapped around out of bounds, and it goes over to the Bulldogs. Kosman to inbound it for Boyceville. She gets the pass into Hillman. Back to Kostman. Kostman brings it down the floor, tries to get a long pass down. She does to Basil. Basil with it on the right corner, and she's in a little bit of trouble. Gets it out to Hillman. Hillman back to Basil. Back to Hillman. Out high to Olette. Olette feeds it over to Kostman. Kostman tries to get it to Evenson, and we have a whistle and a foul.
Falls on 44, Rachel Charlo. That's her second.
15 foul on the Vikings. 13-5, Vikings on top, 6:25 to go. Bulldogs inbound it to Olette. Olette to Kostman, turn around, no. Trying to go up with it is Basil, and she doesn't get it to fall. And the Vikings come away with it. Charlo on the rebound, gets it to Schleisner, comes quickly across the timeline. Over to Steinke. Back out to Schleisner, back to Steinke, to Schleisner between the circles. Over to Steinke on the right. Feeds it to Charlo, tries to get it into the lane to Meredith. Meredith out to Bovey. Bovey's three-pointer is no good. Rebound taken away by Meredith. Out to Steinke. Tries to feed it in the lane to Charlo, and it's intercepted. Quickly down the floor come the Bulldogs. Olette with it. On the right side. Feeds it over to the left side to Lagerstrom, who puts up a shot. It's taken down by Charlo. To Schleisner. Long pass to Bovey. Tries to go to the baseline, and we have a blocking foul being called on Olette. That's Olette's first personal, 3rd team foul. Addy into the lineup for the Vikings, replacing Schleisner. Meredith the inbound for the Vikings. Gets it into Bovey. Out to Addy. To Steinke over on the right. Back over to the left side to Bovey. Bovey puts up a 3, and she hit it. She was wide open. They left her all alone, and she made them pay. And the inbound pass is too high for Lagerstrom. And it goes out of bounds. Vikings will have it.
Boyceville's going to keep bottling up the inside, so it's going to leave Colfax open on the outside for some threes.
Addy with it between the circles. Gets it over to Steinke on the right. Cross court pass to Bovey, and she hit another three. Jana Bovey is getting hot. 6 points for her. 4:53 to go. Vikings up 19-5. Long three-pointer goes up from Evenson for the Bulldogs. It's not good. And Meredith gets it for the Vikings. Gets it to Steinke. Feeds into the lane to Meredith. Out to Charlo. Charlo puts up a three, and she hit it. The threes are happening for the Vikings, and to try and get them out of that rhythm, the Bulldogs call a timeout. 4:33 to go in the first half. Vikings 22 and the Boyceville Bulldogs 6. You're listening to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
The Colfax Messenger has covered the happenings of Colfax and the surrounding area for over 120 years. No one cares for Colfax like the Messenger. Readers get the most current news, sports, and feature stories about the people and places of Colfax. Also, the Messenger is your one-stop source for all your printing needs. To subscribe to the Colfax Messenger or receive a free quote on your printing needs, call the Messenger at 715-265-4646 or visit them online at www.dewitmedia.com. Northern Light Webcasting Network is proud to present Colfax Viking basketball for the 2019-2020 season. Join us Friday, January 17th as the Viking girls take on the Spring Valley Cardinals from Spring Valley. Viking pregame begins at 7 o'clock and live play-by-play begins at 7:10 right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
And we're back here at Colfax High School where the Vikings have a 22-5 lead over the Boyceville Bulldogs. Bulldogs inbound the ball. And Olette brings it down, loses the handle on it, and Addy gets it for the Vikings. And they're going to call a foul on the Bulldogs. Addy batted the ball over to Jenna Bovey, who after the whistle, just for the heck of it, put a shot towards and it went right through. Ball comes into Addy. Over to Jana. Back to Addy. Cross-court pass to Charlo. Charlo puts up the shot. She hit another three. Rachel Charlo with 9 points so far on the night. 25-5. Vikings up by 20. And the Bulldogs come down the floor. They have it out to Lagerstrom, or Kostman, check that, to Olette. Olette takes it down the right side. Back out to Kostman. Kostman drives to the lane, puts it up and in. Tyra Kostman for the Bulldogs with her first 2 points of the night. Steinke feeds it into Charlo. To Meredith, who lays it up off the glass and in. Camry Meredith with 4 points. 27-7, Vikings on top. 3:31 to go in the first half. Olette, bring it, or check that. That was Lagerstrom lost the handle on the ball. It went out of bounds. We have some substitutions going on for the Vikings. Addison in for Bovey. And let's see, in for Steinke is Barstead. And Schleisner is in for Addy. Inbounding it is Olette. She feeds it into the lane to Basil, who tries to put up a shot. It's blocked, and the Vikings come away with it. Schleisner with it across the timeline. Stops at the top of the key. Feeds it into the lane to Meredith. Puts up a little one, and it's no good. That little bunny from directly in front of the basket's a tough one for Camry Meredith. She seems to be much more effective if she's off to the side a little bit.
Off to the side and moving east-west.
Addison inbounds it to Barstead, out to Schleisner at the top of the key. Over to Barstead on the right side. Barstead drives to the lane, kicks it back out to Schleisner. To Meredith, high, wide, and left. Meredith drives down to the lane, tries to go up, and we have a whistle and a foul. She went up, but she got fouled, so the ball didn't follow her.
Colfax starting to find some seams in the interior to get to the hole.
Meredith at the line for 2. The foul was on Hillman. It was her first personal, 15 foul. Meredith's first shot is off the front of the iron, no good. 2:51 remaining in the first half. Vikings up 27-7. Meredith's second shot on the way, and it's good. (28-7). Olette bringing it down the floor. She's got pressure there from Schleissner and Addison. Addison picks her up. She brings it across the timeline, but Addison's right there in her hip pocket. She almost lost control of it. Gives it to Hillman. Hillman turnaround jumper from the lane is short and taken away by Meredith. Camry Meredith with it through the center circle. Feeds it over to the left side, and the ball went one way, and Barstead went the other, and the ball decided it was going out of bounds. So the Bulldogs have it. Inbound pass to Ouellette, stolen by Addison. Taps it over to Barstead, lays it up, and it goes in. 30-7, Vikings on top. Down the floor, and we have an out of bounds called. Lagerstrom had it. She was coming down along the sideline. Evidently, she dribbled it on the sideline before the Vikings touched it. Addison to inbound it. Lagerstrom is out, and Tyra Kostman is in for the Bulldogs. Addison gets it into Schleissner. Schleissner between the circles gets it over to the left or to the right side to Addison. Over to Meredith from 3, in and out, no good. Rebound chased down by Addison. Gets it out to Meredith. To Schleissner between the circles, swings it around to the right side to Barstead. Drives into the lane. She ran into a lot of traffic. We have a whistle. And we've got a foul being called. I thought they tied it up for a jump ball, but evidently not. The foul was on Hintzman. It's her first personal, 16 foul. Schleissner with it at the top of the key. Feeds it over to the right side to Addison in the corner. Gets it out high to Meredith. Feeds it in the lane to Charlotte. Turn around, no. And we have a whistle and a foul. This is going to be on Schleissner, I believe. 1:41 to go in the first half. And it is a foul on Schleissner. It's her first personal, 16 foul on the Vikings. Both teams at 6, so both teams from this point on will be in the bonus. Kostman inbounds it to Ouellette. Ouellette brings it down the floor, puts on the brakes, tries to draw the foul, wasn't able to do it. Feeds it out to Basil. He gets it to Kostman. Over to Evenson from 3 off the front of the iron. And the ball gets chased down by Meredith. Gets it to Schleissner. Schleissner's pass to Barstead is just a little bit too far.
Good idea by Morgan Schleissner there. Maddie Barstead is wide open and just out of her reach.
Kostman to inbound it for the Bulldogs. Minute 19 to go in the first half. Inbound pass stolen by Barstead. Gets it over to Meredith. Cross-court pass to Schleissner. Drives the baseline. Puts it up, and we have a whistle and a foul. And once again, Schleissner is not afraid with her diminutive size to drive it down into the land of the Giants and go up and draw the foul. Foul is on Kostman. It's her first personal. 7th team foul. Schleissner's first shot is up and no good. And now she has the ball. Second shot on the way, and it's good. 31-7, Vikings on top. Inbound pass to Ouellette, and we have a whistle and a foul. This is going to be on Maddie Barstead, I believe, with a push. And it's her second personal. 7th team foul, so we walk the length of the court. Addison in for Barstead. And Olette is at the line for the 1-and-1. First shot is on the way, and it rims around. No. Rebound taken down by Evans. She tries to go up with it, and we have a whistle and a foul. And I believe, yes, they got Meredith with the foul. It's her second personal. Evenson's first shot is up and in. 31-8. Minute 7 to go. Wilson is out. Charlo is in for the Vikings. Evenson's second shot, a bonus shot, is on the way. Off the back of the iron. Rebound taken down by Meredith. Turns around, dribbles it down the floor. Gets it to the timeline, gets it across. Over to Addison on the right side, who gets it out high to Harmon. Harmon puts up a shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Basil. Feeds it over to Olette. Olette down the floor. Takes it down the right side. Gets it out to Basil. Basil from the right side of the lane puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Charlo. Gets it over to Schleissner. Quickly down the floor. Feeds it down to Harmon. Harmon underneath Meredith, and she came down kind of awkwardly, and we have a whistle and a foul.
I think it's just out of bounds.
I think you're right. Inbound pass to Schleissner, out to Addison. Feeds it in the lane to Meredith, back out to Harmon. Puts up a three, no. Rebound being fought for on the floor. They roll it out to Schleissner, over to Harmon, to Addison, who puts up a three and hits it. 6 points for Addison Olsen tonight. 7 seconds to go in the first half. And the ball goes out of bounds. So the inbound pass for the Bulldogs went out of bounds, and Addison inbound for the Vikings. Feeds it into Meredith. 3 seconds to go. Addison puts it on the floor, gets it out to Schleissner, puts up a three. No, it does not go. So we're at halftime. Vikings 34, Boyceville Bulldogs 8. Coming up at halftime, we have the Viking profile, as well as the Colfax High School report, and that's all coming up right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
What makes Hometown Pharmacy different than the big chains? People. When you walk into Hometown Pharmacy, you'll see friends and neighbors on both sides of the counter.
We come to Hometown Pharmacy because they are also very knowledgeable and helpful.
We may not be on every corner, but chances are we're in your hometown, or we'll be there shortly. And we care about you. Hometown Pharmacy, our family caring for your family.
Stop by Colfax Hometown Pharmacy in downtown Colfax.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Bailey Bradford, a junior at Colfax High School. And we'll be chatting with Bailey right after this brief message.
We are the boy band. Your tween made you see. We are the boy band. It's painful concert number 3. We are the boy band. We're 5 and 19. We are the boy band. Always singing on key.
You love your kids enough to take them to see their favorite band. Love them enough to make sure they're buckled up in the back seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We're talking right now with Bailey Bradford on Viking Profile. And Bailey, we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
Yeah, I play softball and volleyball also.
Now, when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of experience have you had?
Started playing in 3rd grade, and it's been a pretty good experience. I like it.
What's the most important thing you've learned from playing basketball?
Be super aggressive.
Now, so when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that you're interested in that keep you occupied?
I go hunting and fishing a lot.
All right, I'm going to throw some rapid-fire questions at you.
Okay.
Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Pie.
What kind?
Pumpkin.
Are you a pumpkin spice person and everything else, too?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
All right, how about a Ford, Chevy, or other brand?
Oh, gosh. Chevy.
Okay. Your favorite NBA or WNBA team?
Timberwolves.
Your favorite college basketball team?
Wisconsin.
We're talking with Bailey Bradford on Viking Profile. And Bailey, what are your plans for after high school?
To go to UW Eau Claire and hopefully play some softball there and become a nurse.
Now, Bailey, how about a shout out to your family?
Hi, Mom and Dad.
And we want to thank Bailey Bradford for joining us on Viking Profile. Coming up next is more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me, I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Time for the Colfax High School Report with an update on what's happening at Colfax High School.
This past week at Colfax High School, both the boys and girls basketball teams had full schedules. The Viking girls led off the week on Monday the 6th by traveling to Clear Lake, where they dropped a heartbreaking loss to the number 2 ranked Clear Lake Warriors 43-41. Then on Tuesday the 7th, the boys hosted Glenwood City, where the Vikings rode a 20-point performance by Cole Seahaver and posted a 71-47 victory over the Hilltoppers. On Thursday the 9th, it was a battle of unbeaten conference foes as the girls traveled to Durand to take on the Panthers. The Viking girls controlled the game from the beginning, relying on good shooting and a very stingy defense to post a 58-38 win over the Panthers. That win left the Vikings sitting alone atop the Dunn St. Croix Conference with a 5-0 record in the conference. Finally, on Friday the 10th, the boys journeyed to Mondovi to do battle with the Buffaloes. The Vikings emerged from that contest victorious by the score of 49-31. That win left the Vikings tied with Durand for first place in the Dunn St. Croix Conference with identical 4-0 records. The Bloomer Colfax Wrestlers had a dual meet at St. Croix Falls on Thursday the 9th. The Grapplers ran into some pretty stiff competition at St. Croix Falls, dropping the dual meet 69-9. At 132 pounds, however, Bloomer Colfax's Sawyer Best pinned St. Croix Falls' Sam Galena at 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Also, at 160 pounds, Bloomer Colfax's Bowen Rothbauer defeated St. Croix Falls' Bennett Bergman by a 3-1 decision. The Viking dance team competed in their conference meet on Saturday at Eau Claire North, but we do not have any results on that. Now, coming up next week, the middle school girls basketball team will continue their season on the 21st when they host Boyceville, and then they will travel to Elk Mound on Thursday the 23rd. Middle school wrestling will get underway with meets at Spring Valley on Tuesday and Arcadia on Friday the 24th. The Viking girls will travel to Elk Mound on Thursday the 23rd. We'll have that varsity game right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network with Viking pregame beginning at 7 and live play-by-play beginning at 7:10. The Viking boys will host the Boyceville Bulldogs on Tuesday the 21st. We'll have that varsity game right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network with Viking pregame beginning at 7 o'clock and live play-by-play beginning at 7:10. Then on Friday, the boys will travel to Spring Valley to take on the Cardinals. JV starts at 5:45 and varsity begins at 7:15. The Bloomer Colfax wrestlers will compete in a dual meet in Boyceville on the 21st and then host a dual meet in Bloomer on the 23rd. The Middle School Choral Festival will be at UW-Eau Claire on Thursday the 23rd, and on Monday the 20th there will be a teacher in service, so there will be no school on that day. And that's what's been happening at Colfax High School. This has been Rick Olson reporting.
You've been listening to the Colfax High School Report with an update on what's happening at Colfax High School. The second half of Colfax Viking basketball is coming up.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
And we're back here at Colfax High School where the Vikings have a 34-8 lead over the Boyceville Bulldogs. And Dan, what are your numbers looking like?
Yeah, here's the leading scores right now for Colfax. Right now, number 44, Rachel Charlo leads the team with 9 points. We have Jana Bovey and Addison Olson with 6. Cameron Meredith has 5, and Josie Steiking has 3. For the Boyceville Bulldogs, their leading scorers right now are Katie Grambo and Kosman with 2. Oh, Jensine Basil has 3, and Anna Everson has 1.
And we were a little bit concerned that this might be a trap game, but I don't think it's turning into that for the Vikings. But I'll tell you what, we're just about ready to get started with the second half, so we'll have that for you right after this timeout. You're listening to Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. And we're just getting ready to start the second half. And Dan was desperately looking for his water bottle and
disappeared on me.
He misplaced it right alongside of himself. All right, the Bulldogs inbound the ball to start the second half, and it goes into Kosman, and then she passes it right back to Ouellette, who has it between the circles, and the ball gets stolen by Schleissner. Takes it into the forecourt, feeds it over to Bovey, who can't quite find the handle. It goes out of bounds, and the Bulldogs have it. Kosman to inbound it for Boyceville. She feeds it into Grambo. And Grambo takes it across the timeline. Long pass over to Ouellette. Ouellette takes it down into the left corner. Ball goes up from Kosman, and it's no good. Rebound being taken out by the Vikings to Charlo, who takes it up and in. Charlo on the layup as Meredith and Charlo had a 2-on-2, and Meredith was dribbling, fed it over to Charlo, who laid it up and in. 36-8, Vikings on top. Bulldogs have it in the right corner. That's Hintzman. Tries to feed it into the lane, but tried to feed it right through Schleissner, and Schleissner ended up with it. And she brings it back down the floor for the Vikings. She gets it over to Steinke on the right, or on the left. Out to Charlo, feeds it into the lane to Meredith. Kicks it out to Bovey. To Meredith on the right side, drives to the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Boyceville. Evenson on the rebound.
Rambo brings it down the floor for the Bulldogs. Takes it to the top of the key, gets it over to Olette. Tries to feed it out to the outside, but it's intercepted by Bovey. Gets it down to Schleissner, who's down along the baseline. Gets it out to Charlo. Charlo from three. No. Rebound. Chased down by Steinke. Rebound by Meredith. And out to Steinke, who puts up a three, and she hit it. Or they're saying it was only a 2. Okay, 38-8. Vikings up by 30. 5 points for Josie Steinke. Olette with it. Takes it on the right side. She's closely guarded. She puts up a shot, and we have a whistle and a foul. She was being closely guarded by Schleissner, and then she decided to take it into the lane, and I think Schleissner got a little bit of her that time, and she did.
Yeah, that's one thing Boyceville's going to have to do is maybe lean in and try to get some fouls here and get to the line.
Olette's first shot is on the way, and oops, we got some scoreboard troubles. Now it's back. The first shot was good. By the way, that was Schleissner's, I believe, second foul, first team foul. Olette's second shot is up, no good. Rebound taken down by Meredith. She feeds it over to Schleissner, comes across the timeline to Bovey, high, wide, and left. Gets it out between the circles to Steinke, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Charlo. Gets it to Bovey. Bovey tries to take it along the baseline. Her shot is no good. Rebound taken down by Kostman, who feeds it over to Olette. Olette taking it down, drives into the lane, puts it up. No good. We have a foul on the Vikings, probably Charlo. And it is. That's her third personal. Second team foul on the Vikings. And Olette back to the line. First shot is up, no good.
That's one thing that Colfax is going to have to watch here in the next few games is Charlo's fouls. It's become a kind of almost a problem here in the end of the game.
Second shot by Olette is on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by Steinke. Gets it over to Schleissner, comes across the timeline. She's right in the center circle right now. Takes it down between the circles, feeds it to Charlo, drives down the right side, puts it up and in. 13 points for Rachel Charlo. Vikings up 40-9. Olette coming down the floor. Across the timeline for the Boyceville Bulldogs. Feeds it over to the left side to Kostman. Kostman out high to Basil. Basil at the top of the key. Gets it over on the left side, and that was to Hillman, who lost control of it. Bovey, bounce pass over to Meredith, puts it up, no good. Rebound, Charlo, who puts it up and in. 42-9. Olette taking it down the floor for the Bulldogs. 14:23 to go in this one. Olette feeds it over to Basil. Basil out to Kostman. High, wide, and left. She gets it over to Lagerstrom. Down low to Basil. Basil out to Lagerstrom. Lagerstrom puts it up from three, and she hit it. That was actually a pretty looking shot by Lagerstrom. 42-12, Vikings on top. Schleissner across the timeline. Feeds it over to Steinke, puts it up a three, and it's short. Ball taken down by Kostman. Gets it out to Basil and over to Olette, who comes across the timeline. Wholesale substitutions waiting for the Vikings. Kostman has it, high, wide, and left for the Bulldogs. Feeds it into the lane. Ball gets batted away by Schleissner, and we have a tie-up on the floor and a jump ball being called. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. Another hockey line change for the Vikings. 5 in, 5 out. We have Olsen, Wilson, Barstead, and Harmon in there for the Vikings. Addie with it. She takes it through the center circle. Gets it out to Harmon. Three-pointer from the top of the key off the front of the iron. No good. Rebound taken down by the Bulldogs. Coming across the timeline is Olette. Takes it over to the left side. Swings it back out high to Basil. Basil back over to the left side and down to Olette down in the left corner. She drives into the lane, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound, we got a foul being called. I believe it's on Seville Wilson. It is. It's her second personal. Third team foul on the Vikings. That's Basil at the line. First shot is up and in. And her second shot is good. 42-14, and Viking inbound pass is a little bit errant. Barstead trying to get it in to Addy and did not make connection. Ball goes out of bounds, and we have another hockey line change for the Vikings. 5 out, 5 in. Hintzman inbounding it. Or check that was Gambro inbounding it. She gets it out to Hillman, who gets it out high to Grambo. Grambo puts up a long three, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Meredith feeds it down long to Bovey. Bovey to Schleissner. Schleissner puts up a three, rolls around, no good. Rebound taken down by Grambo. Grambo down the floor. She does a turnaround on the right side, feeds it down low to Lagerstrom, who kicks it back out high to Olette. We have a whistle and a blocking foul on Schleissner. It's her third personal, fourth team foul on the Vikings. Inbounding it is Olette for the Bulldogs. She gets it into Grambo on the left side, back out to Olette. Takes it into the lane, can't control the ball when she tries to put the shot up, and it goes right into the hands of Meredith. Cross-court pass by Meredith to Bovey on the left side. It's Meredith at the free throw line, drives into the lane, tries to go up, and we have a whistle and a foul. Meredith's going to be at the line for two, and the foul is on Olette. That's her third personal. That's the first team foul on the Bulldogs. First shot is up, and it's good for Meredith. 43-14, 6 points for Camry Meredith tonight. Into the lineup is Kostman for Olette. Also in is Hintzman. Meredith's second shot is up and in. 44-14, Vikings up by 30. 11:51 to go in the game. Coming down the floor is Grambo for the Bulldogs. She gets it at the top of the key. And she was going to pass the ball and taken right out of her hands with it as Schleissner. Feeds it over to Meredith. Jumper from the elbows, no good. Rebound is all tied up underneath there, and we have a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Boyceville Bulldogs.
You know, one thing I would like to see Colfax do right now is not rush it down and shoot it quick. There's 20 something left in the game, and just kind of stay back and take care of the ball.
All right, Kostman has it, feeds it over to Evenson on the right side for the Bulldogs, tries to feed along the baseline, and the pass gets intercepted by the Vikings. Bovey quickly down the floor. She lays it up, and it goes in. Of course, if you have a fast break layup, there's not much you can do about that.
No.
So Lagerstrom brings it down for the Bulldogs. 11 minutes even to go in this ball game. 46-14, Vikings well in charge of this one. Evenson with it on the right side. Gets it over to the left side. Now this is Lagerstrom, puts up a shot, whistle and a foul.
Looks like on Morgan Schleisner.
That's Schleisner's 4th personal. And I see no move by Coach Doucette to pull her out with 4. Lagerstrom at the line. Her first shot is on the way and it's good. 5 team fouls on the Vikings. Lagerstrom's second shot. It's on the way and it's good. 46-16. Schleisner with it. Coming down the floor. Crosses the timeline. Gets it over to Charlo. To Steinke on the left. Cross court pass to Charlo. Dribbles it off her foot and it goes out of bounds. And it'll be Boyceville's ball. And we have another hockey line change for the Vikings. We're getting a lot of ice time.
Yeah, it's good for these girls to get a little break here and get ready for the next game. Not to jinx it at all.
Lagerstrom with it in the center circle. Feeds it over to the left side for Grambo. Now they get it onto the right side to Evenson. Back out high to Lagerstrom. Takes it down to the baseline. Tries to get it out high, and she stepped out of bounds. Ball goes over to the Vikings. Lagerstrom turned to make the pass, and her foot slid over to the baseline, and out of bounds it went. Addison with it across the timeline. She drives into the lane, turns around, feeds it out to Seville Wilson. Over to Harmon, back to Addison from 3, in and out, no good. Rebound taken down by Barstead. Barstead to Addison. Addison between the circles, over to Addie on the right. To Harmon. From 3 land, no good. Rebound chased down by Barstead, but she couldn't quite get it before it went out of bounds. So Boyceville will have it. Grambo to inbound. To Lagerstrom. And she brings it slowly down the floor. 9:43 to go in this game. Gets it over to Grambo. High, wide, and left. Down into the left corner, and we have a travel being called on Hintzman. Moved the feet before she put the ball on the floor. She had the right idea to drive the baseline, but her feet got a little eager.
Yeah, she gave a little pump and that drew her head.
Barstead looking to get it inbounds. Finally gets it into Addie, who feeds it back to Barstead. Out to Harmon, to Addie between the circles. Addie coming down around the left side. The ball got knocked out of her hands, and they're saying that Addie had it last, and so Boyceville has the ball.
You know, with them up 46-16, yes, they're up. I'd like to see Colfax still take care of the ball and
well, I was kind of surprised that time. Addie made no effort to try and get that ball as it was rolling away from her. And I think she thought that it was going to be Colfax ball, but at least I'm hoping that's what she thought, because she made absolutely no effort to try and get it after it got knocked out of her hands. Boyceville has the ball, high, wide, and left. That's Kostman. Over to now on the left side to Hillman, and her pass gets knocked out of bounds, but we have a foul called.
Fouls on Seville Wilson. It's her 3rd.
And the 6th team foul on the Vikings. 8:52 remaining. Inbound, and a quick jumper by Basil is good. (46-18). Addie with it. She drives down the lane. Feeds it out to Harmon. Harmon to Barstead. Barstead drives down the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Olette. Olette for the Bulldogs. Comes through the center circle. Over to the left side to Lagerstrom. Puts up a shot, no good. Rebound being fought for down underneath. And Seville Wilson comes away with it, feeds it over to Addie. Addie gets it to Harmon in the lane, puts it up and in. Marissa Harmon with her 4th point of the night, 8 minutes remaining. 48-18. Lagerstrom with it. She feeds it over to Hillman. Hillman in the lane to Kostman. Repeated shots underneath by Basil and Kostman, neither one of which went through, and we have a whistle and a foul, however. And Kostman goes to the line. Foul is on Wilson with her 4th personal. 7th team foul, so Boyceville will be in the bonus from here on out. Kostman's first shot is on the way, no good. Emily Bertram-Schofield is in, as is Bailey Bradford for the Vikings. Our Viking profile player today. Kostman's second shot is up, no good, and rebound is tied up. Jump ball, possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. Bertram-Schofield to inbound. Gets it over to Addie. Addie brings it down the floor. Takes it through the center circle. Feeds it over to Harmon on the right side. High to Bertram-Schofield. To Addison, puts up a 3 and hit it. That's 9 points for Addison tonight.
Good ball movement by Colfax. Get Addison open for the 3.
Olette gets it over on the left side to Harper Olsen for Boyceville. We have a rebound.
Jump
ball. Addison, and I didn't see who the Colfax person was. Boyceville person. But they had it all tied up, and Boyceville gets it out of bounds. Olette to inbound. She gets it into Basil, puts up a quick shot, no good. Rebound put back up by Evenson is no good. Rebound put back up, and we have a whistle and a foul. Olette put the shot up, and it was no good. And I believe the foul's on Harmon. I'll check that. It's on Addie. It was on 30. And that's Addie's first personal. First shot by Olette is no good. Abby Irwin into the lineup for the Vikings, replacing Addie. Just over 7 minutes remaining. Olette's second shot is around and out. And we have rebound gets knocked out of bounds by the Vikings, so Boyceville will have it. Olette to inbound. She gets it into Evenson. Evenson over to Olette in the right corner. To Evenson in the lane. Puts up a shot, no good. Rebound. Taken down by Irwin. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Gets it over to Bertram-Schofield. And they're going to get Bertram-Schofield with a travel. She couldn't quite find the handle of the ball. Couldn't quite get it under control and ended up taking some steps. So Boyceville will have it. Olette inbounds. Over to Harper Olsen for the Bulldogs. Gets it back out to Hillman. Over to Olette on the right, or on the left side. Olette turns around as she takes it into the lane. Feeds it back out to Evenson. Now driving into the lane is Hillman with a shot that's no good. Addison feeds it down underneath Bailey Bradford, who tried to go up with it and got fouled in the process. So Bradford's going to the line for 2. The foul was on Hintzman. It's her second personal. Second team foul on the Bulldogs. Bradford's first shot is no good. 51-18, Vikings on top. 6:11 to go. Second shot is on its way, rolls around, no good. Rebound taken down by Bertram Schofield, and she put it up and in. Emily Bertram Schofield. Those may be her first 2 varsity points. Ouellette feeds it over into the corner, taking it in towards the hole is Hintzman. It's no good as her shot, but got fouled on the way in. And the foul is on Addison. That's Addison's first personal, 9th team foul on the Vikings. First shot by Hintzman is in, 53-19. Riley Parker into the game for the Vikings. Shot is up, rebound. Actually, that's Jasmine Paulus just came into the game for the Vikings. Feed to Paulus down underneath. She feeds it out to Bradford, who puts up a shot and hit it from the left side. 55-19. Ouellette with it between the circles. Gets it over to Hintzman. Back out to Ouellette from the top of the key. No good. Rebound chased down there by Best. Jasmine Best takes it down, feeds it out to Paulus, who puts it out to Abby Irwin. Her shot is no good. Rebound taken down by Hintzman. Hintzman feeds it down into the right corner to Hillman. Hillman looking for somewhere to go with it. Gets it to Olsen. Tries to go into the lane, and we have a jump ball being called. Harper Olsen tried to drive into the lane, tried to split 2 defenders, and discovered that's easier said than done.
It's good to see some of the younger players for Colfax getting some varsity time right now. This will be important in the years to come.
And the Bulldogs do a hockey line change. And they inbound it to Irwin, who tries to feed it up the sideline to Paulus, and was knocked out of bounds by the Bulldogs. Actually, I think she thought she intercepted it, but her foot was on the sideline. Inbounding it for the Vikings is Bailey Bradford. Feeds it into Irwin. To Paulus, she puts up a shot, and we have a whistle and a foul. Her shot was no good, but Jasmine Paulus is going to the line. She's shooting 2. That foul was on Hillman. It was her second personal. Paulus's first shot is good. It's a 3rd team foul on Boyceville. 4:56 remaining. Paulus's second shot is on the way, and it's good. 57-19, Vikings on top. Rambo takes it across the timeline for the Bulldogs. They feed it into the lane. The ball gets knocked away and picked up by Best. Gets it out to Bertram Schofield, to Abby Irwin. Back over to Bertram Schofield, high, wide, and left. Cross-court pass over to Bradford, to Paulus. Back out high to Irwin, to Bradford. Over to Best. Best drives the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Basil for the Bulldogs. And she feeds it to Lagerstrom. Over to Kosman, then down in the corner to Gramble, puts up a 3, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Best trying to dribble out of trouble, but the Bulldogs steal it from her. They put up a shot, and it gets partially blocked, and Best gets the ball. Feeds it down to Paulus. Paulus from just inside the arc. Shot no good. Rebound quickly taken down by Hillman. Hillman drives the length of the floor. Stops. Puts it up. No good. Rebound. Basil. No good. Rebound out of bounds, and Vikings will have it. 3:40 to go.
Boyceville is looking to push, but good job by Colfax to get back and play defense.
Ball is inbounded to Bradford. Over to Abby Irwin. And the ball goes off a Boyceville foot, so it'll be Viking ball. And let's see, we're looking at Abby Irwin to inbound for the Vikings. Long pass into Best. Picks up her dribble, gets it over to Bertram Schofield. Drives into the lane, turns around, tries to find somewhere to go. Now we have a whistle and it's all tied up, jump ball. She turned around, looked for somewhere to go, but didn't know what she was going to do with it and took too long before she got rid of it and got tied up. Olsen inbounds it to Lagerstrom for the Bulldogs as she takes it through the center circle. Over to the left side to Olsen. Out to Olette. To Lagerstrom, tries to feed it into the lane, and it gets intercepted by the Vikings. We have a scrum for it in the lane, and it gets knocked out to the Bulldogs. To Olette. Over to Olsen, three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound out of bounds, and the Vikings will have it. Bradford to inbound for the Vikings. Gets it into Irwin. Irwin brings it down the floor. Feeds it into Bradford. Gets it out to Bertram Schofield. To Jasmine Best. Best takes it into the lane. Puts it up. No good. A rebound. Taken down by Irwin. Out high to Best. Back to Irwin. Over to Bradford. Bradford out to Bertram Schofield. Puts up a shot. No good. Rebound taken down by Best. She tries to get a shot up, but it's taken away from her on the way up. And Olsen comes away with it for the Bulldogs. Ball gets knocked loose, and Bertram Schofield has it for the Vikings. Back down to the other end of the floor. She gets it over to Irwin. Irwin to Paulus. Paulus puts up a shot. No good. Rebound. Turnaround hook shot, and it goes in by Bertram Schofield.
Well, Emily did a great job there to get a rebound and get the 2 points with a tough shot.
4 points for Bertram Schofield, 59-19. Vikings up by 40. Pass into the lane is taken away by the Vikings, but they dribble it on the end line, so the ball will go over to Boyceville. Three in, three out for the Bulldogs.
Running clock now.
We are in a running clock. About a minute 20 to go in this one. Inbound pass out to Olette. Olette down into the right corner to Grambo. They feed it into the lane to Olette. We have a whistle and a foul. That foul is on Paulus. Her first personal. That's the 10th foul. Olette's first shot is up. Rolls off. No good. She has one shot left. 50 seconds remaining. 59-19. Vikings ahead. Second shot. Nothing but net that time. 59-20. Quickly coming down the floor is Irwin. Ball gets taken away by the Bulldogs, but taken right back again by the Vikings. Best has it. Feeds it out to Bradford, to Paulus. Paulus to Best. Best tries to put a shot up, no good. 20 seconds remaining. Olette with it. Down the floor, three-pointer on the way for the Bulldogs, and it's out of bounds. Came up short and just went out of bounds. 10 seconds remaining. Oh, they're saying the Vikings tipped it?
Oh, yeah.
Inbound pass, and there's the buzzer, and that's the end of this one. Final score, Colfax Vikings 59, Boyceville Bulldogs 20. And we'll be back with Viking postgame right after this timeout. You're listening to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Which one are we on here, Dan? Okay, there we are. On the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
If you have a high-deductible health plan, opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
In addition to being your hometown newspaper, the Colfax Messenger is also your one-stop shop for all your printing needs. The Messenger provides full in-house design and full-color printing services for copies, business cards, letterheads, envelopes, pamphlets, brochures, books. They can even do posters up to 13 by 30 inches for your events or benefits. Call the Colfax Messenger at 715-265-4646 or visit dewitmedia.com.
You've been listening to Colfax Viking Basketball, live on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network in conjunction with Colfax High School. Stay tuned, coming up next is Viking Postgame with a look back at today's game.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off at school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I can't believe you found them.
He seems sorry.
We very clearly told him not to look up there.
I'm honestly impressed that he was able to do it.
Right? But did he balance on that big chair?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he'll just know what his gifts are this year.
I really thought we had hidden them well.
If they can find their presents, they can find a gun.
911, what is your emergency?
Every day, 8 kids and teens are unintentionally killed or injured by loaded and unlocked guns. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and End Family Fire.
Time now for Viking Postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking girls game. And now, Viking Postgame.
And we're back out here at Colfax High School, where the Vikings have just dominated the Boyceville Bulldogs by a score of 59-20. And making his way up to our broadcasting area right now is Viking coach Joe Doucette, as he's climbing over the railing and about to get in here and join us. And Coach, congratulations. I guess it wasn't a trap game after all.
Well, I'm not sure. We had shot the ball well, I thought, but made a ton of mistakes and threw the ball all over the place. But hey, we're happy to win and happy to remain in first place. So I thought a lot of kids I was impressed with. I thought Addison Olsen off the bench was, solid, handled the ball well, and a couple other kids. And
trying to make sure she never misses a three at the end of the game again. She went 3 for 3 from 3.
Yeah. No, Rick, I like these guys. They, they're tremendous kids. I think, for the most part, everybody gets along well, and we're just trying to get better. I wasn't crazy impressed tonight, but we got the job done, and nobody got hurt. So
well, and give Boyceville a little bit of credit. What they lacked in tremendous basketball skill, they scrapped.
And they always do. Yeah,
they were hustling all over the place, and so they made some of those passes difficult for the girls. And, but there were some times where I think the girls might have hurried some passes that they didn't need to. And
I agree. That Jolene, she's had a great program. They've been state runner-up a couple times, and and just always compete, always play hard. I got nothing but respect for her and Jay, their assistant coach. So again, we just. I didn't even think we've touched our ceiling at all. I think we can get a lot better. I think if one of these nights we're going to get, all 10 kids playing well together, and I think it's going to be scary good. But we just got to keep practicing. We got to roll up our sleeves and get busy and work on some weaknesses. Even the Rachels and the Camrys, who are, some of the best kids around, they have to get better. They have to get better. They have to have that will to get better. And if they do that, we'll be fine.
And I think 6-0. It's kind of like what people kept saying about the Packers, that they didn't look like a team that should be sitting in first place. And you know what? You found a way to do it.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. And you're right. I think these girls have some potential for some pretty exciting things this year.
Yeah.
And 6-0, they're off to a good start.
Yeah, we're excited, Rick. We're excited, and we to a person, everyone thinks we can get better, and I'm on that ship too. I really think we can be super good by the end of the year.
Now, weather forecast is saying we may have some issues with that game on Friday over in Spring Valley, but we're going to keep our fingers crossed.
Now, we ain't going to worry about it. We'll have, a couple good practices here, and if they tell us to show up, we'll show up, and if we don't, we'll wait to see what happens.
And if they tell you to show up, folks, you don't want to go on the road, you can listen right here. We'll have it for you.
Yeah.
But either way, and if something should happen to it, it's going to get made up eventually anyway, right?
Yeah, sounds good.
So, all right, well, congratulations.
Thanks
6-0 in the conference, and we'll have more Viking postgame right after this timeout. You're listening to Viking postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, and we were just shouting to Addison Olsen over on the side and about her good night from the floor tonight. And why don't you tell us all about those numbers tonight, Dan?
Yeah, here's the leading scores for Colfax tonight. Their leading scorer on the team is number 44, Rachel Charlo. She had 14 points. Addison Olsen had 9 points. Gina Bovey had 8. Cameron Meredith had 7. Marissa Harmon had 4. And Emily Bertram Schofield had 4. Or she had 2. Oh, she had 4. And Bradford had 2. And for the Boyceville Bulldogs, their leading scorer tonight was number 22, Jensine Basil, with 7 points. Maya Lagerstrom had 5. And a whole host of others with 2 and 1.
Okay, and again, that comes out to a 59-20 final score. And this reminder, folks, Colfax Viking basketball is brought to you by Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. The Colfax Animal Hospital, trust your pets to Dr. Buckley and his staff. Morgan's Auto Body, where after an oh no moment, they can make your car right again. The Colfax Messenger for over 120 years, keeping you informed about what's happening in the Colfax area. Colfax Hometown Pharmacy, their family caring for your family. And Kyle's Market, where customer service is supersized. Be sure to thank these sponsors of Colfax Viking basketball right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Also, don't forget that the Viking girls' next game will be Friday the 17th. Coach and I were just talking about that. Vikings are traveling over to Spring Valley to take on the Spring Valley Cardinals, as of course is weather permitting. JV begins at 5:45, varsity at 7:15. Of course, we'll have all that varsity action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. And if something should happen, follow along our webpage or our Facebook, and we will get it posted as soon as we know anything. If you don't see anything, it means the game's on. But if something happens and the game is being postponed to a later date, we'll have that information for you on our website. Viking boys basketball team will host the Durand Panthers this Thursday evening. JV starts at 5:45. Varsity is at 7:15. And if you missed part of tonight's game, or you know someone who'd like to hear it, the game will be rebroadcast right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network tomorrow evening beginning at 6 p.m. Well, Dan, it wasn't a trap.
It wasn't a trap. It sure looked like it kind of in the first 10 minutes of the game. But, yeah, Colfax did a good job to get back into their groove and put away the Boyceville Bulldogs.
And Coach mentioned it, too. There were some things that the Vikings really do need to very definitely clean up. But you know what? They've got some practices. They're going to work on that. They'll get that stuff cleaned up. I'm confident of that. And they're going to move on. They've got to, because coming up next week, they have Elk Mound, and
of course, they're going to run into Durand again. Somewhere down the line, even though it's non-conference, it's one they'd like to sink their teeth into. They have Melrose Mindoro, and so they've got to clean a lot of stuff up before they can face the likes of those.
Yeah, they do really good when the other team's playing man-to-man. They need to clean up a few things when they see a 2-3 zone or a 1-2-2 zone, which Boyceville did tonight. Really made a difference in the first half of the game, but Colfax figured it out.
Well, Dan, our next one is Friday. We'll keep our fingers crossed that we can make the trip over to Spring Valley and that the weather is cooperative, and we'll be there, and if not, we'll do it at whatever later date it is. So I will see you there Friday, we're hoping, and we'll see the rest of you there as well. But you've been listening to Viking Postgame. That final score, once again, Vikings 59 and the Boyceville Bulldogs 20. You've been listening to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
If you have a high-deductible health plan, opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Northern Light Webcasting Network is proud to present Colfax Viking basketball for the 2019-2020 season. Join us Friday, January 17th as the Viking girls take on the Spring Valley Cardinals from Spring Valley. Viking pregame begins at 7 o'clock and live play-by-play begins at 7:10 right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.